Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, once again for another edition of the Mayhem Watch Party, where we sit and watch wrestling as we do, and you can watch it with us. Joining us this week on the Watch Party is the one and only Matt Carlins. Matt, how are you?
Awesome. Great to be back with the Beard Club. How y'all doing tonight?
Beard Club in full effect, because I'm so unenthused of shaving it. And the one and only Antonio Garza. How are you?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, so we did obviously Extreme Rules happened this past weekend, and we did about a month or so of extreme matches of sorts. We wanted to go into something different. There's not a lot of great matches from Payback. I mean, I'm sure there's some good ones, but there haven't been a lot of paybacks. So instead of diving into that specifically, one of the things that we are very excited of, which we kind of talked about on the Midweek War this week, was the upcoming NXT Takeover on May 20th. Obviously, NXT Takeover Thursday is always it's like a holiday for wrestling fans, I feel. So we are going to dive in these next couple of weeks leading up to that event to some of our favorite matches from the past takeovers. And you can watch them with us. This week we are not watching on the WWE Network because, like most of us, our free trial is almost up. So we're gonna play it safe and go to a good website called Dailymotion to watch this. And the link to the video that we are watching will be available in the description of this YouTube video, so you can go check it out there. But the match we will be watching is from the second NXT special, the first NXT Takeover, which is Sami Zayn going one-on-one with Tyler Breeze for the #1 contendership to the NXT Championship. So go on down, click that link. We'll give you a second. There's your second to click that link and get all ready. And we will go 3, 2, 1, fire, and when you 3, 2, 1, fire, and when you hear the word fire, I can't say words. When you hear the word fire, that's when you will hit play on your play button, and you can watch it with us, and we'll give our thoughts and our critiques and our opinions on the wrestling. So Matt and Antonio, you guys ready?
Ready.
Ready.
Loaded. You couldn't hear my knuckles crack, but whatever. Okay. In 3, 2, 1, fire. And we're underway. So, yeah, we kind of wanted to do, since we have 3 weeks till Takeover, we're going to do a title match, an NXT title match, a women's match, and a non-title match that we thought was really good. And this is one that kind of stuck out for me. To me, this is definitely the coming out for Tyler Breeze in a sense, as far as showing people what he's capable of. So yeah, I'm excited about this. What are your? Let's start this up with this. What are your memories going into this matchup, guys?
Basically, the way you described it, Eamon. Tyler Breeze had come back and was doing the supermodel bit, and at this point was absurdly high, on the card. I don't think when anybody saw him, debut his supermodel character, that anyone thought that he was gonna start contending for the #1 contendership spot, but here he is.
At this point, I remember I was saying, why is Sami Zayn not fighting for the title in the main event? And why is he fighting this guy, Tyler Breeze?
Definitely. I think, and to think, in fact, the last takeover before this, if it gives you any indication, Tyler Breeze was wrestling Xavier Woods in a no contest that got broken up by Rusev before the match started.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a testament to how far he came in a very short period of time.
Before this, it was he had only done the CJ Parker feud, right?
Yeah, he was just coming off of that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people look at a gimmick that Tyler has and thinks that, well, he's a mid-card wrestler or he's going to be for a certain kind of shtick. I don't think a lot of people think he can be NXT champion or contending for that title. Funny enough, he'll be in a number one contenders match at the upcoming Takeover too, so very fitting. But yeah, I think that's one of the good things about NXT. It's takes characters that are, wild and kind of different and allows them to reach their full potential.
And here's a little trivia for Tyler Breeze. He's a former tag team champion with Roman Reigns. Oh, there you go.
Well, and we saw how one of those two turned out. And I think, because for those that don't know, breaking kayfabe or whatever, Tyler Breeze wrestled on NXT and in FCW as Mike Dalton.
Yes.
And Mike Dalton was just a blonde-haired guy, it's cool to see somebody get some character and really run with it.
Was he FCW champion or just the Jack Briscoe?
He was for a brief period of time. I think he was like a transitional champion between two guys. But yeah, he did hold the FCW title. But yeah, and obviously Sami Zayn, crowd favorites, homegrown or not homegrown, but beloved wrestler. And yeah, I don't think Tyler Breeze at this point really had a match that was like, oh, that's an amazing match. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think the closest thing, I believe there was a series of matches these two had with Tyson Kidd as well before this. That was the closest to like, oh, these guys are,
Yeah, they have a triple threat number one contenders match.
This was an interesting kind of period too. Once they started to get into these takeover specials, was how they elevated Tyler Breeze and Tyson Kidd, and how they kind of filled that void for contenders. And I mean, in the case of Kidd and Breeze, and I think everybody kind of knew that Sami Zayn had a lot going for him. But I mean, especially Breeze and Kidd, man, they really stepped up and carried things whenever Neville was champion to provide him with some good opponents. Right. Until we got the huge influx of talent that NXT has gotten over the past, longer than last half a year or so.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Also, in the early going into this match, I realized how much I miss William Regal on commentary.
Corey Graves just ain't cutting it for you all of a sudden, huh?
I love me some Corey Graves, but I do miss William Regal on the shtick. But yeah, so obviously this takeover was, for those that don't know, the rest of the card was Adrian Neville against Tyson Kidd, as well as the Charlotte and Natalya Battle of the Flairs versus the Hearts women's title match, which was kind of these were the three matches that were kind of what takeover was staked on in a sense.
Yeah.
And of course, Sami was coming off of the Arrival special.
Yes.
Where basically he and Cesaro launched the WWE Network. Together.
Ooh. Nasty fall by Sami Zayn, but yeah. I think
and that was, I mean, a lot of people knew about Sami Zayn before that Arrival special, but you have to realize there were a lot of people who didn't. And so this is kind of like part of the introduction to Sami Zayn for a lot of fans.
Right.
Well, before Arrival, he had already started the Cesaro feud. He already had the 2 out of 3 falls count. And this was at the end of the Bo Dallas feud, which also had some pretty good matches.
And to think, leading into this takeover, obviously the first Arrival was a big night for the network and for NXT, but also they lost a lot of people after that to the main roster. They lost, obviously they didn't have Cesaro past that point, but they also lost Bo Dallas. They lost Paige and Emma, who were in the women's title match. There was a lot of talents and I think it gives an opportunity for other talents to kind of step up. And that's really cool to see, that it's not just like a set amount of guys that are, considered the top guys.
I actually think that NXT right now is going to a similar transition where, I mean, we already lost Lucha Dragons and Neville. I think Charlotte is like on the edge of debuting.
Right.
So I think NXT may be going into a similar point right now.
Yeah, and hopefully we get a same influx of talent that steps up.
Well, Nation is coming.
Tyler Gear, just a complete side note from this, Tyler Breeze's gear is fantastic in this.
Just about everything Tyler Breeze was doing from the moment he debuted this character was pretty much right on point.
I remember the first time he debuted the cell phone camera Titatron.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, that is amazing. That is Cody Rhodes' old entrance taken to the next level.
And I remember when he got the new theme song that he was using when he came out for this show.
I think this may have been
spot on. There was a music video that went with it.
This may have been the night where he debuted the new song, if I'm not mistaken.
It might have been.
Yeah, maybe.
I was singing this to anyone who would listen for a few weeks, actually. So.
But yeah, definitely a lot to prove, I would say, in this match. I think there's a lot of intimidation, that goes into wrestling. Someone like Sami Zayn that is so beloved, you kind of have to show something, or the crowd will kind of eat you alive.
Yep.
And there goes Tyler.
It's interesting to watch Sami wrestling a match where he is controlling a lot of the offense.
That's true.
Because it's not something that we've gotten used to seeing lately from him.
Yeah,
his style has evolved a lot.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, that was the first time he did that, I guess.
Apparently. Unless that was a flub by Tom Phillips.
Yeah, which I wouldn't be surprised.
A little bit of that Michael Cole logic for you on the announcing desk.
Yeah, there you go.
Also, I think we haven't seen a lot in the early going, but some bits and pieces. The facials of these two are really good. I think that's something that they really understand. Which people always say about Sami Zayn is that he wrestled most of his career in a mask, so for him to understand how to emote something is kind of really impressive.
Well, I do have to say, in the history of lucha, there's two guys that I've seen that can really, really express emotion behind a mask.
Mm-hmm.
The best will always be Rey Mysterio, but I always thought that Generico had a great capability to showing off how tired, how damaged he was.
Yeah.
Even behind a mask.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Regal is gushing over Tyler Breeze right now on the commentary.
And that's what I miss about Regal.
And I tell you what, part of this match is all about elevating Tyler Breeze, and Regal is just he is going to work.
No, yeah.
Commentary plays a big part when you're trying to get somebody to the next level, and Regal's not treating Tyler Breeze like a joke. They're treating him like he's somebody to be contended with.
Oh. Nice. And now I just realized Rudy Charles is the referee, and he's one of my least favorite referees currently.
Little Quackenbush.
Oh. He fucks up so many matches.
What I think about Breeze is that, he doesn't do a ton as far as moves go. He's got, beauty shot, supermodel kick. He just showed you the big DDT, but the thing that's really interesting when you're watching Breeze is that he's not super flashy, over the whole of the match. Do you guys kind of feel that too?
No.
I get that whenever I'm watching him.
He's always more flashy in his cells.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, jeez.
Well, there's something flashy for you.
But you see that a lot when his recent matches with Atami. His selling is really, really spectacular. Just because he just bounces. People compare him to Ziggler a lot, but he really tries to do something special with his selling.
But I mean, there is a lot of basics and a lot of fundamentals, within what he's doing, which is kind of an interesting thing about watching him.
Oh yeah. And there's an error thing. Yeah, I don't know if we all.
Yeah.
I was expecting that.
This is why we don't want stuff on Daily Motion. This is why WWE Network only $9.99 is more reliable.
Just buy it.
It's more reliable than Daily Motion, but we're back now. I don't know whoever was streaming this just had a loading screen, but okay.
Well, we're back from commercial, guys. The match is rolling on.
Yeah, that was the commercial break. And now we're getting aggressive, Tyler Breeze.
Yeah.
I always loved the concept of because his original gimmick was basically like he doesn't want anyone touching his face.
Yeah, and then in this match, like the ponytail is undone, and you can't believe it. You're like, oh my god, his hair's all going crazy.
And he's given up, and he's like, I want to win this. Like screw my face.
He stops caring about how he looks, and he just wants to win. It's good.
I really like that they moved away from the whole "don't touch my face," because I think that always like kind of like I don't know. It kind of like
it limits
the
people.
guy. Yeah, it limits people. It puts the guy in a position where their matches are gonna be like the same story all over and over again. And I think Reese going past that, he just becomes a fighter and he's ready for anything, and he just looks tougher.
And then Miz can just steal the gimmick anyways with his moneymaker thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, you compare like what Miz does with it, where I mean he's obsessed with his face. He never stops, even during matches. He won't stop. And Breeze at this point really doesn't even favor it. I mean, he'll get punched in the face, and he's not gonna do what the Miz does and start like holding his jaw for the rest of the match.
Oh, almost wrap up. That was a really good I would say that was a really good if they were to actually do the ref bump, that would have been effective because it was an actual fake out.
It's real good.
Crowd's super hot right now. Oh
yeah.
And there it is.
There's that.
That's what I also love. I love Sami Zayn's kickouts where he doesn't just get the shoulder up. He stands up and then immediately just falls back down. And Regal was loving this.
Yeah. Both Tom and Regal are marking out.
See what happens when you have an enthused commentary team and one that actually seems like they want to be there.
Yeah. And I think it's mainly you don't have someone screaming on their ears to put over the network.
Yeah.
To tell us how everyone likes to have fun.
You can tell, and I think that's the biggest thing. You can tell they're having fun, and you can tell they're into it, and that energy, transfers over. But no, this is getting really good now. Also, keep in mind, Matt, you not too long ago did a ranking of the best Takeover matches. I believe Sami Zayn was in 6 of them, if I'm not mistaken.
I think I subtitled it "OMG Sami Zayn, you guys" or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really no denying it. I mean,
Tyler's bit.
At least it doesn't get any better than Sami Zayn on NXT.
Yeah, he's been the poster boy for pretty much the whole year.
And it's funny, I know there are people who kind of.
Here's the Here's the attempted Orange Crush,
Oh yeah.
which in my opinion, they do a good job of saving it.
Mhm.
But and you can't, in my opinion, you can't blame Tyler because that is such a unique move that like the training that it takes to be able to take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're basically flipping at least like 3 different rotations.
It's such an indie move.
Yeah.
It's just bananas, though.
And the crowd doesn't shit on it, which is good.
I think it's because they never stop and look like they're trying to find themselves. They just go with it and they
And that
move on, you know?
that takes an instinct to be like, you know, okay, let's roll with this and make it look like an actual. There's some my thing like when I watch like Botchamania or something like that, I'll see like, oh, I try to say, okay, did they save it? Like, did they make it look like a thing still? You know?
I was thinking it doesn't hurt that that's a move that you almost never see, so the fans can't be like, oh, they messed up a powerbomb. You know, they're probably like, what the hell are they going for?
Yeah. To a point, you probably just think that's how it is.
And Sami has never done that move again, though, so keep that in mind.
Yeah. To me, watching it the first time, it didn't even really register with me at all. It was just like, wow, it got a little messy there for a second, but...
Yeah, like it was like when Cesaro and Zayn had problems in their final match. You know that something's going wrong, but you're just like this is going wrong.
That's amazing. I love this finish.
There it is.
Because it's smart and it's not like, you know.
This was surprising when it happened.
Oh yeah.
This is a shocking outcome.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, I think the eventual singles match that Breeze gets with Neville is really good, but eventually it's just a thing that kind of leads into the Fatal 4-Way match.
Yeah.
Which is still a great match, but yeah.
Yeah, it happened one of the network shows, so those usually get like lost in the shuffle eventually.
I mean, in this win, I don't want to say it made Tyler Breeze, but it definitely elevated him in a big way. And as we saw, it didn't hurt Sami much at all.
No, because it's very the finish is very smart as far as like protecting both. Because I mean, like it's a smart move by Tyler that allows him to. I just love the concept of like he got his hands up because it was reactionary to block
it was it was a little smart. It was a little lucky. It was a little dirty. You know, it was.
And I think that this, at the end, was part of the whole story to build up Sami to the super babyface title win.
Oh yeah.
So,
and this is also the start of Sami, the whole big storyline, which is Sami Zayn can't win the big one.
Well, no, I think that started since Bo Dallas.
Yeah, that's true.
Bo kept winning those matches.
Yeah, you could contend it. So like the Bo Dallas stuff leading with that, then Cesaro, then Tyler Breeze, and the Fatal 4-Way. Like it's really a well-told story. And then and that's weird to think that like that main event with Neville with Zayn, like that was the first Takeover match he ever won.
And that's it.
But yeah, fun stuff. I'm excited for the rest of this series because NXT, like I mentioned before, Takeovers always seem very special, and you always know something good's going to happen.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch stuff that's this recent, that feels relatively as recent as these NXT specials are. But still, I mean, you could see like how much progression there's been for some of these guys since we saw them. This is almost a year ago. Yeah, it's actually 11 months ago that they had this match. And
that's crazy.
It is crazy how far they've come since then.
But yeah, definitely. Like we mentioned before on previous shows, that you can check us out at live.sorgatronmedia.com every Tuesday night for the Wrestling Mayhem show and the Indie Mayhem show immediately following. Cool stuff all around is happening here on YouTube, on iTunes, and Stitcher, where we review. We do the Watch Party. We also review Midweek Wars. We review Monday Night Raw. We review various other shows in the wrestling world. If usually there's a mainstream wrestling show, we tend to review it and talk about it. So you can go to WrestlingMayhemShow.com and donate to our Patreon account to help support us financially, which is always a big plus. You can also do that by going to ProWrestlingTees.com and buying one of our T-shirts. And for myself, Eamon at Eamon2 please on Twitter, Matt at Mainstream Matt on the Twitter, and Tony Garza 02K, which is, remind me again.
It's at DW Revolution.
That's it. Awesome. I definitely don't want to mistake that. Go follow all of us and see what we have to say about wrestling and other things. So for all of us, this has been the Mayhem Watch Party.